Could you use some more wisdom in your life? Man, I know I could. Well, here's our chance. Here at Missouri Street Church, every year we seek to have a church-wide Bible reading project. We want to be in the same portion of Scripture at the same time. That not only helps us together in our reading, we can help each other in our study, but it also bonds us a bit all the more together in Scripture. The project that we have in mind for 2022 focuses on one specific book of the Bible, namely the book of wisdom, Proverbs. Now, we're going to approach Proverbs two ways in 2022, and we'll actually get underway with the Wisdom Project in December. Wednesday, December the 1st, we'll begin reading the book of Proverbs one chapter at a time. That is, on December 1st, we'll read chapter 1. December 2nd, we'll read chapter 2. There are 31 days in December. There are 31 chapters in the book of Proverbs. Very, very simple. That's to get an overview of the book in our mind, just to get us familiar with the lay of the land. And then in 2022, we'll go back and read Proverbs, but at a very, very slow pace and repetitive, if you'd like. Here's a schedule if you'd like to think about it ahead of time. Take, for example, the very first week. On January 1st through the 7th, we'll read chapter 1, verse 1 through verse 19, a whole week to meditate on 19 verses. The second week, beginning the 8th, we'll pick up with verse 20 of chapter 1 and read through the rest of chapter 1. Again, a whole week to contemplate, meditate, mull over, and ruminate on just a handful of verses. We'll come out much wiser at the end of this project. You'll be surprised at how many Proverbs you'll be able to quote or paraphrase by the time the end of the year rolls around. Now, as you're thinking about our reading and you're thinking about the schedule, let me encourage you to add some resources to your own personal Bible study library. I want to point out 2 in this video, and I'll point out 4 more in the next. The first one actually doesn't deal with the book of Proverbs in the Bible at all. It deals with Proverbs that we use today in English. This wonderful little book by Martin Manzer is already in its 2nd edition now, and it's entitled The Facts on File Dictionary of Proverbs. You'll find 1,700 sayings or proverbs that we commonly use, oftentimes without even thinking. They're just automatic. And as you do so, it'll whet your appetite for Proverbs ancient, as in the Bible. These bits of wisdom, like silence is golden, where did that expression come from? Is it open to more than one, perhaps, interpretation, understanding? What's it going for? What's its objective, etc.? You'll find those kind of expressions and those kind of discussions throughout this book, and in a very simple format. Here you have a particular expression, like attracts like, and then a paragraph describing that. Very, very simple. In fact, you may be thinking, well, I remember Grandpa used to always say such and such, and I don't remember the exact words to it, but it was about this, a particular topic. This book has a topic or theme index, and you may have a very good chance of finding Grandpa saying in it by using that theme index. Or you may remember, well, I don't remember all the proverb, but I remember it had a particular word in it that stood out, and it was about monkeys. This book has a word index, and so you can look up monkeys. You'll have a good chance of finding that proverb that Grandpa used to always say. Great book to have around. It's not only insightful, it's very entertaining reading. I think you'll find it hard to put down after you read a page or 2. Well, the second book I'd offer for you to include in your library is one that does deal with the book of Proverbs in our Bible. And if you buy only one book to help you in your study of Proverbs, this is the one I'd recommend. It's by a well-known Old Testament scholar by the name of Tremper Longman. Now, this book has been in print for nearly 20 years now, but don't let that longevity fool you. This still remains kind of the standard for the springboard into a study of Proverbs. It's a wonderful introduction that covers everything from how did Proverbs come to be, what do they have in common with other scriptures, or even writings outside of the Bible, what to do when you encounter what appears to be a theme that stretches across the book of Proverbs, and a whole lot more. You'll even find suggestions at the end for additional resources, and I really love his recommendations. I find them extremely helpful myself. This is a great little investment. It's very inexpensive, and though Tremper Longman is a leading Old Testament scholar, He has that wonderful knack of being able to put difficult matters in simple words. It's a very accessible and readable work. You can find it on Amazon.com or Barnes & Noble, a host of other places. Go look for it. How to Read Proverbs, Tremper Longman. One more look at that schedule, 2022. Take a screenshot. You'll see it in other places another time, but there you are, ahead of the game. That's wise. Grace and peace be with us all.